Hello everyone and welcome to playday number 3 of these Intel Extreme Masters of the second season. And we're back in Group A and we're starting with an undead mirror here between eLquA, the Frenchman in yellow on in the top left corner of the arena stand, all-terrain crypt for him first, and his opponent is HasuObs, the German, who starts with a Fiend build here. So we're gonna see, unlike the previous undead mirror, we're gonna see the players starting with different strategies early on. I mean, HasuObs, of course, had a great load of experience at the time playing undead mirrors, you know, in Germany with players like Proteus, HasuObs, HLA, and, you know, in some games already, or some competitions already explored. You know, you had to be good in undead mirror in Germany at that period, if you, or as an undead at least, if you wanted to make it far in the German Warcraft 3 scene. So yeah, HasuObs, quite the experienced undead mirror player, and eLquA, will see if he's going to be able to do better compared to the best of 3 he played previously against Elfie. So yeah, eLquA wasn't able to win a single map in this tournament thus far, losing 0-2 against Hooligan on playday number 1. Where one match was pretty closely fought, the one on Turtle Rock, and the second one on eCoAS was pretty one-sided, and the second best of 3 between him and Elfie was pretty one-sided on both maps. So yeah, eLquA so far without a single map win. HasuObs was able to take his first best of 3 against Nightwolf. Then he had to concede in the second best of 3, which he played against Hooligan, which yeah, was a rather close one, but Hooligan, with some very nice play, especially on the third map, Twisted Meadows, was able to get the victory in that one. So yeah, we'll see Fiends by HasuObs. I'm expecting an extremely passive early game by him, just, you know, creeping stuff, perhaps just the entire bottom to get level 3. And for eLquA, we'll see how he's gonna start here. Lich is out right now, Rot bot, and he starts moving out of the base with only a ghoul and a Lich. It looks like this one is going to be his first creep camp to take, and we'll see if he's just going to stay passive as well, or if he's going to go ahead and perhaps go for a push against the Acolytes during the attack, or just for, you know, trying to harass HasuObs while he's doing some creeping. We've seen previously the Lich staffing to the Scout Acolyte eventually, while finishing the last creeps to reach level 3 with the ghouls, these creeps to be exact. So yeah, we'll see what eLquA is going to decide to do here. So first items found on both sides: slippers for HasuObs, which is terrible, and Cloak of Shadows and Gloves of Haste for the Lich, which is also not exactly the greatest, generally speaking. You know, there are cases where the Cloak of Shadows can make a huge difference, but usually not. HasuObs in the meantime, wow, it looks like the Lightning Shield just finished the Renegade Wizard, Renegade Wizard, that's what it's called. So that is bad news for HasuObs, and of course pretty unlucky, and therefore he's not level 2 yet, not even particularly close to level 2. Tech has not yet started, 26 supply already for HasuObs. So yeah, I'm just going for an extremely passive early game. Yeah, and as we can see, the Lich is staffing across the map, and not having level 2 is could actually be quite terrible for HasuObs, but at least he was able to pick off the Forest Troll Shadow Priest and one of the little Forest Trolls to get the level 2 before the Lich can really start his harassment here. The ghouls in the meantime continue creeping. Level 3 for eLquA is going to be reached in just a second, and yeah, there it is. And this means his Nova is going to be quite the weapon here to deal with either a Fiend or with perhaps the Sasquatch here in doing the last hit. So HasuObs is going to have to be very careful with his creeping, or just go in for the Acolytes. One hit and a Nova, yeah, as you can see, is enough to kill one of the Acolytes, and HasuObs is cancelling his tech here immediately, and eLquA being happy with that, town portaling out. Let's compare. Tech here is almost finished already. eLquA is adding the graveyard. No second crypto for him, so we're not gonna see gargoyles. And not a good early game, to say the least, for HasuObs, who's going to have to catch up in terms of XP, catch up in terms of tech, yeah, catch up in terms of everything just then. What is eLqua's follow-up here? Go in again? Could actually even work out, but he didn't rebuy a town pole, so I'm guessing that's not gonna happen. Tier 2 just finished right now. And both of them creeping their mercenary camps at the moment. HasuObs, yeah, what's he getting? Big heal potion. Yeah, pretty good item actually. Preventing the focus fire on a DK, or okay, he's stepping down here again with the Lich. Needs to make sure, he also found a big heal potion, needs to make sure not to get too greedy though, because he doesn't have a town portal and staff is gonna have a huge cooldown right now, and the ghouls already start doing some damage. One of the acolytes is gonna fall, nothing he can do about it, and I guess he's just gonna retreat now. HasuObs, on the other hand, heading towards the base of his opponent already, and it looks like he's gonna be trying to do some damage in return. If he cuts, or if he gets these ghouls on the way, that could be quite terrible. At the same time, the Lich is gonna have to use the potion soon, I imagine, if he wants to really participate in defending the base, and I think he's gonna have to do so. Level 3 now for HasuObs, 4 fiends, and a bunch of skeletons, and the DK of course. 30 supply for him, 30 for eLquA as well, who's got 4 ghouls and a Lich at the moment. And HasuObs is going for the shop here with the skeletons. He's gonna finish off another one of these low HP ghouls, and yeah, this might be a pretty good timing for him here. Nova goes on the DK, but he's got the big heal potion still. He needs to make sure not to get surrounded on the Lich, does so. The ghouls pulling back here. Is he not quite on level 2 on tier 2 yet? Somehow damage dealt onto one of the fiends. No mana on the Lich currently. He can of course spawn skeletons and then use the Dark Ritual, as we see right now, and he's gonna have another Nova. Just a second coil needs to be used here, just to prevent a Nova from dealing the final blow, and Lightning Shield used onto the DK immediately. HasuObs has to fall back for the time being. Lich second added, new Acolyte is being built, Nova onto the fiends, but looks like another coil already was deployed here to make sure that none of those fiends is really put in danger. And tier 3 tech started, yeah, one more tower. That was quite a good push here by HasuObs. 1, 2, 3 ghouls dead, nothing lost in return. eLquA quite greedily starts creeping here immediately again. Was probably expecting HasuObs to pull back a little bit further. DK still has the big heal potion, needs to, you know, make sure to perhaps use that in time. But then again, he doesn't really want to use that against only the 2 heroes. So he got the last hit here. eLquA had to use the coil on his Lich, and now HasuObs is going to get going. Tier 3 also started for him. Lich is about to spawn. Still no slaughterhouse for either of them. There's the slaughterhouse for eLquA, who starts adding fiends right now as well. And HasuObs finally is going to be able to finish the Sasquatch down here. So, okay, slight tech advantage for eLquA. Level-wise, not really an advantage for eLquA anymore. He had to use his heal potion already. Let's see who gets the last hit here. It is the Lich, and okay, Lightning Shield again. It is the Lich who's staffing out right now. Damage output shouldn't be enough for HasuObs. So a slight XP lead for eLquA, but other than that, I mean, he's still got a bunch of ghouls and only 2 fiends, 40 supply against the 36 of HasuObs, which is mostly consisting of fiends. So, yeah, I don't really see too much of an advantage here anymore for eLquA, to be honest. Because this counter push by HasuObs killed a lot of stuff. The Lich is coming in, he needs to make sure not to lose his Lich. There's not quite enough mana for a Nova though. At the moment, the one fiend gets Lightning Shield here. Belt of Giant Strength being picked up. And in the meantime, he continues creeping as well. DK level 2. And the Lich, wow, really needs to be careful. Is the fiend getting in front of the Lich? No, it looks like it isn't. So yeah, tier 3 finished here. Did he pick up the orb already? Not yet. The Lich is retreating just a little bit. HasuObs is gonna reach level 3, tier 3 as well. So yeah, this looks like a rather even game. I guess it's gonna come down to basically just who is gonna be able to eventually take a better fight. Both of them at level 3 too currently. Of course, for eLquA it's the Lich level 3. For HasuObs it's the DK. Both of them starting to produce statues. Where's the first statue? Okay, the first statue is already out. The army even creeping all by itself here. eLquA is just trying to continue harassing with both of these heroes. He hasn't really done too great a job so far. He was able to pick off the Sasquatch here, which was quite good, but other than that, yeah, nothing too significant or game-changing. HasuObs now with the 50 supply Ziggurat finishing, getting the Crypt Lord here immediately. Hero for eLquA is the Dreadlord, which we've seen before. It didn't do all too much against Elfie, but this is of course an entirely different game. HasuObs is not going to go for the crazy big destroyer all-in or destroyer push basically. He's just going to play his fiends, his basically solid army, and try and take a solid fight eventually. Yeah, so both of the players sitting at 50 supply at the moment. No destroyer upgrade coming yet, as far as I can tell, on either side. We'll see. I mean, it's not even sure if the players will even necessarily want to add destroyers, especially eLquA against a large number of fiends on the side of HasuObs. Yeah, perhaps some abominations eventually. As I said, we'll see. Circlet could be picked up here, and it looks like HasuObs is going to be the one prepared to take a fight here first. 1-0 upgrades, by the way, on his fiends. No upgrades on the fiends of eLquA yet. And eLquA, okay, there are the ghouls. So it looks like he's going to be the one forced to defend right now. Lich is staffing to the rest of the army. Town Portal is on the Dreadlord. It's just quickly going to finish his camp here. Death Knight reaches level 3. Quite the significant level up. Death Knight of HasuObs is just charging in here to spawn 2 new skeletons. Lich not quite level 3 yet, so we do have 3-1 on the side of HasuObs. A lot of fiends, 2 statues against the 4-3-1 on the side of eLquA, who doesn't feel like town portaling eventually. This is quite surprising to me because he cannot really afford losing his production here. Trying to go for the counter push apparently, so it looks like he doesn't feel like fighting. He just wants to trade town portals, but this is going to be so expensive for him. Okay, now he decides to town portal. Apparently he just wanted to make sure there was no expansion coming up by HasuObs. And yeah, there's the TP coming in. The ghouls are being pulled a little bit late. The Death Knight is immediately taking so much damage. He cannot afford taking so much damage on the DK. The Lich on the other side is taking a bunch of damage as well. The Death Knight is sleeping. Lich has to use the immo potion already, but the Death Knight of eLquA, is he getting a potion? No, he isn't, and he's losing the DK here immediately. A terrible start of this fight for the French player, and now HasuObs is looking so superior, trying to get the block with the DK against the Dreadlord. He does so. The Dreadlord is getting to the shop door, buying a heal potion, coil on one of the fiends, but HasuObs, did he lose anything here? I'm not quite sure. Perhaps a fiend, since he's at 47 supply, but eLquA at 43, getting the crypt at the back now as it was falling in the front, trying to get the DK back, but yeah, now he's the one who's got no reinforcements because it took him so long to get back to his own base to defend here. HasuObs has to coil, does so. The Lich has plenty of mana, but he's not given the chance to finish off anything with a Nova. On the other hand, Nova is coming in against the Acolytes. One of them is falling, the other one has to fall back. And it doesn't seem like this Death Knight is going to get out of the altar again. And therefore, not good news for eLquA. Nova on the Fiend, but too late. The coil already was there to heal it. Impale hitting nicely against 2 Fiends, Dreadlord, 2 Acolytes. The next Fiend is being coiled here. This Fiend is falling, and eLquA is leaving the game. HasuObs, yeah, quite dominantly even in the last fight, taking the victory here. eLquA with a very good early game, getting XP advantage, getting a huge tech advantage, but wasn't able to follow it up properly. He crept quite greedily, continued creeping quite greedily with his ghouls, And HasuObs, with a decently timed push, got a few kills. The Lich had to use that heal potion super early on, and HasuObs therefore won enough time for himself to just, you know, get his production going. He was able to just fall back into a normal game afterwards, get those fiends, get the Lich, level him up, get to tier 3, get the orb, and then just take a solid end fight in which he was just the superior player despite fighting at his opponent's main base. And that means he's leading 1-0, and that means on Turtle Rock, eLquA is going to have the chance to tie the series.